Welcome to Small Steps. My name is Seth Potts and I want to show you several ways of using the text function. So the text function essentially takes a numeric value and transforms it into a text string based on whatever format you want it to be in. I know in crime analysis, right, this comes in fairly handy because we're kind of at the mercy of the data as it comes in, how it is. It doesn't always have all the formatting, all the fields we would want it to, but it doesn't mean that we can't take that information and extract what we want out of it. This text function helps you do that in several ways. So I have a couple examples here. I'm going to go through. We'll start with this one up here. Is just we're going to be using this date and time field. It's fairly common to get that in, and like I say, it comes in formatted just however it is. You can always go up and change the formatting on it for certain things, but if you are just kind of moving through and wanting to extract certain things out, sometimes this text function is easier. So I kind of have these functions listed out to the left, or the different formulas using that function in there, and we'll go through how that works. So just like any other formula, you're going to start with that equals text. You see the two arguments it has here is the value, so whatever you're wanting to convert, and then the format that you want it to be in. So on a lot of these here, we're just going to use that A1, that date and time. So we'll start with that, and then you need to note here. And when I started using this as an issue, came across multiple times because I keep forgetting. You do have to put quotation marks around the formatting. So if you forget to do that, you will get an error. I believe it's the like a name error that comes up. Essentially, it's telling you it's not formatted here properly in the formula. So we'll go ahead and put this in. So for this, MM is going to be month, DD is day, and YY is the last two digits of the year. One thing to note with this is these the coding here, like the MM and the DDYY, that is going to be specific to the country you are in. So if you are in a different country and with a language, the beginning letters aren't the same as what they are in English here, wherever you are, it will have different coding. So you'd have to look that up. But for where we are here, this is month, day, and year. So I'll go ahead and add that month, day, and year. So you see in the original um, Texas up there, it comes in with a full year. The month comes in is just the one digit. So you can kind of control that here. So this example here, we're going to be transforming that into two digits for the month and the day, and then the year, just the last two digits. And it's disregarding the time altogether. So we do this, put your quotes around it and the parentheses around it, click enter, and you see it formatted that in the specific way that you wanted. It got rid of everything else, and yeah, you could get rid of digits, add digits, make sure there's that leading zero on the front if that's how you like things formatted. So there's another one, and this is one that I find pretty handy, depending on what type of analysis you're doing. If you're doing anything that's going to involve the day of the week, I've used this quite a bit. So we're going to start out the same way, text function, and then we're going to open that up with the A1, that date and time up there. And for this value, you do DD. You got to do four of them to spell out the whole word. And see, it'll populate that Monday. So a lot of times I've used this analysis by taking the date and getting the day of week it is, and then you're looking for a trend or something. Say, yeah, these types of crimes have been happening, and you could tell in a pivot table if there's a lot of information, or however you want to utilize it. But you can see more of a pattern. Like, yeah, it's on Mondays through Wednesdays, is early week. Every time, but it's an easy way to pull out that day of week there in a separate column. So I said the last one we did with the 4Ds, if you do it with three, let's get that same A1. So if we do it with the three instead of the four, it gives it an abbreviation here. So just the MON, and it'll do the same kind of thing with the month as well. So once again, pulling out a month. This will pull out the name of the month. So A1, and then if you want it all spelled out, do all four, and it'll pull out the month name. You do it with just the 3, and it will give you an abbreviation for it. And if you went down and did 2, just remember from that top example, if you just do 2 M's instead of 3, it's going to give you the actual number, formatted 2 digits for the month. So another one that I found handy if you're just using several years worth of data, multiple years, pulling out just a column for just the year. Do that here, and once again you do all 4 if you want the full 4 digits. If you just want the last 2, you could do 2. That pulls the year out. It also works with the time as well, and depending on how it's formatted, if you want military time, if you want AM, PM, it's just an example of changing that time over up there. You see from that military time, we could add this specific formatting in, and we'll do, so the H myself is just for that 1 digit, hour, minute, minute. And then when you add the AM, PM, it recognizes that you want that listed out depending on where we are in the day. So you pull it out. So see, it converted that military time to just that 7:49 p.m. there. One more thing that I used quite a bit in the beginning is I was doing some sort of analysis where I was trying to break things down into hour blocks a day. Something that could be for crashes, trying to set up something like a DDAX area or directed patrol when you want to know when's the high time for something in hour segments. This is always an easy way to pull out from that time frame that's in there. So instead of trying to do text to columns and pull it out that way, you can always pull that in here with the text function. Pick that there, and then just do the HH. So it's pulling out the 2 digits of the hour there. And close the parentheses. And when you have that, you'll get a whole list of them. If it's in military time, it'll do the up to the 24 hours is 0 all the way through 23 there. Now, the dates and times are what I typically want to be using for, but there's quite a bit more you can do with it. I have one more example here with phone numbers. I know sometimes you get those in if you're getting cell records from somebody, and sometimes the formatting, there's no spaces, there's no separation. It all flows together, and you kind of want that formatted different. This is an easy way to take those numbers and do that. So for this, we have B1 is where that information is. And with this, you just basically type in how you use the pound signs for the numbers themselves and how you want that formatted out here. So we'll do that with the parentheses around it, the area code, and then 3. You could add the dash if you want or not. You could just put a space in it, however you want that formatted. It will do that for you there. So you enter that there, and it will turn that into this format here. So like I said, there's lots of different things you could do with this. You can there's a lot of formulas that this is embedded in there. You can do concatenate something and add text, and then add a text value for something in with calculations, whatever the case may be. It is pretty handy, and will go into other more complicated formulas that you type up as well. If you found this tutorial helpful and would like to see more, click like and subscribe. The next video coming up is going to be over the if error and if NA functions.